Okay, yeah. I really want to thank you for all your efforts, man, and for educating everyone.
Thank
I
you.
can categorically tell you that when I wake up every day, I'm always really concerned, even though I don't live in Nigeria, but Nigeria is still my country.
Hmm.
Home is always home. I still have families back home, and I go home. My country is Nigeria, and it will always be dear to my heart. It is really scary. We're about to get in May. It is really, really scary to think that this guy could, the thought that he could be sworn in is really scary.
Mm.
And I think that here's the thing: a country like Nigeria, a sitting president has the power to do and undo. It's unlike some
Yeah.
civilized countries where the law can really, really take its course. Separation of powers.
Hmm.
Really, when you talk about separation of powers, you talk about places like the United States. I'm not saying every country is most all of this US and all of that are perfect. They have their own flaws, but at least you can count on justice to some extent to be
Yeah.
done. But a country like Nigeria or Africa in a whole, a sitting president is a dictator.
Hmm.
He has the power to do and undo.
Yeah.
And to think that this court case, I mean, this inauguration could be allowed to go through without resolving all these electoral issues is really a scary thing, because I can guarantee you that if this man is sworn in, then he has the power of the courts in his hands.
Hmm.
He can do and undo. He can impose anything on the courts. As we all know, our courts is not the judicial system in Nigeria is cannot be fully trusted. You see a sitting Senate president who had issues in his territorial district that he wasn't even supposed to contest, because he was contesting for the president of position of president in his primaries, and he couldn't have two nominations, but the Supreme Court allowed him to, and now he's returning to the Senate. That shouldn't have been allowed. And
Hmm.
so I just think that you know I'm not a proponent of going against the Constitution, but hard time requires hard approaches. In the sense that I think people need to get out on the street. People need to talk. People need to complain and get people to understand that this man cannot be sworn in.